Welcome to the podcast.
Grandpa says I don't have to eat the meatloaf.
Grandpa's so dead. Where did I get this smoking hat?
There's a guy in the background with a devil horn going, "Yeah, you did it!" I mean, chips. What are we talking chips? What is our go-to chip?
Obviously Doritos.
I mean, that's obvious for you.
I had
Pizzerias.
I had spicy nacho Doritos last night. They were fucking lit.
I remember the salsa Doritos were so fire.
Dude, almost every Doritos fire.
Well, I like Funions.
There's only those obscure... Well, yes. Stop. There's only those obscure ones that like they didn't last long. Weird flavors that are bad.
Ryan? Nick Bones, back me up on this. Funions? No?
I fuck with Funions.
I'm sure a lot of people... Don't they have like...
Not recreationally, though.
They
Only if
give
I'm,
you
like,
great breath.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have to be really high to crave a Funion.
Lately, after gigs, like I've been getting out gigs at like 12 o'clock. I'm like, God damn it, I need Funions.
That's your go-to?
Yeah. And I'll be driving home listening to an audiobook, some fucking Red Rising trilogy, fucking munching on some yuns, some Funions.
My go-to, yeah. I'm still... Doritos, yeah. That's all.
I mean, I like Doritos as well too. I mean, Cool Ranch or nacho cheese for me. I can't.
Sweet chili, fucking the hot ones.
Fucking Baja Blast.
Baja Blast?
I like Baja Blast too.
Baja Blast. Whatever,
I don't drink a lot of soda, but every once in a while when I actually do go to Taco Bell, I'm hitting that Baja Blast stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've had a soda in like 3 years. 2 years.
Humble brag.
Well, soda's what killed me.
I'm not the snack overlord though, so
I'm trying to curb my snack appeal. I'm trying to relax and just serenity now.
So I happened to be in the Applebees parking lot 2 nights in a row this week picking up my kid.
You're gonna hook her.
Nice.
And the first time I'm sitting there and waiting, and these people are come out and they're fucking hammered, the fucking backwards hats,
People you love.
trashy chicks, like fucking whatever, dude, fucking whatever. And then they hop in their truck and they start like fucking blowing donuts in the fucking parking lot.
Nice.
They're all shit faced.
Brilliant.
And then there's like a truck that's like parked with a dude sleeping inside, and they start blowing donuts around the truck, going, "Wake up, dude! Your fucking nap time's over. You're fucking white. You time to wake up, dude."
Whoa.
Oh man.
And then they raced out of the parking lot. And
cool if he got out with like a handgun and just fired it off in the air, or even shot the tire out. I mean, yeah.
Shot him between the eye. I mean, their tire out.
and the truck flipped over and exploded.
Oh, Doyle rules.
Karma's a bitch.
And then last night I'm waiting for Drake to come out of Applebee's, and this like wicked pretty boy guy. He must have been in his, I don't know, mid-30s maybe. Bleach blonde hair, silky white shirt all the way unbuttoned.
All the way.
Pants halfway down. Halfway down. And he comes out, he's like, fucking
dying.
It's like, all of a sudden, he just fucking tips to the left and keeps going and almost falls, but catches himself. And then stands up, tips to the right, and keeps going. And rights himself again. And he's just like, fucking what?
That's Slim Shaky over there.
You say Slim Shaky?
Shaky.
Balls.
This girl walks up. Hey, that's pretty good. This girl walks up. She's like, get in the fucking truck. He's like, I am getting in the fucking truck. It's like halfway across the parking lot. She's like, what the fuck? Get in the fucking truck. He's like, fuck you. And then he falls and face plants and scrapes his face up. And then when he tries to get into the truck, it takes this guy like 4 or 5 times to actually get up in the truck and get into the seat. It was amazing.
Imagine like back in the day watching people trying to mount their horses when they were leaving the saloon.
Drunk fucking fools. Dude, Speaking of your getting your face scraped against the pavement, real quick, one of the dudes at my work was telling me today about we were just for some reason like looking at these gummies. I was like, wow, they look like replacement nipples. They could be like watermelon sour gummy nipples. But anyway, he's like, oh man, speaking of nipples, and he's like, my cousin is like, we were skateboarding down this hill, and like you had to go like really fast to get to the top.
He pavement ground his nipples off.
What's that?
He pavement grounded his nipples off?
No, she fell and it ground one of her nipples off.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then he told me like when him and his buddies were like drinking and like one of his like best friends or his big buddy started fighting him and like he was like under the car like kind of like scared for his life because his kid was like trying to fight him and the kid
hid under a car?
Yeah, the kid yanked him out and he bit his nipple off.
I mean,
he bit his nipple off, and then he said like the mom took a picture of him, like in the morning.
The raccoon when it's huddling, you know?
Like they were buddy in the morning, like, yo, bro, I'm sorry, I bit your nipple off. Like, and the mother took a picture of them both, like in the morning. I guess it was like a fucking horror show. Like after he told me this, I like went back into the kitchen. I was like, yo, can I tell this story on my podcast? I'm like, that was fucking great, dude. I'm like, you know, I'll get some nipple stories to tell.
I feel like hiding under the car is a worse place than the bed.
Well, I think he was trying to avoid fighting his friend. He was doing like the right thing, like trying not to fight his friend, and then like it went on.
Get the hell out of there! Don't hide under the car. That's just exasperating.
Then a switch flipped, and he bit the nipple off.
Yeah, because he went after the cornered raccoon.
And I was like, did you eat it? And he's like, no, I spit it out. He said it was fucking disgusting.
Swallowed it in the heat of the moment.
He said it was brutal. He said it was fucking so gross.
Yeah, that's...
What up, everybody? Welcome to the You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast. I'm your host with the most of ones and twos, Ryle Wilson. And with me tonight, the razor blade himself, the king of Connecticut. Don't you fucking call him chicken legs.
Don't you call me chicken legs. I think when I don't want to be called chicken legs and you say, don't you call me chicken legs.
He'll bite your nipples off.
So, I'm out here reminding all the people, don't fuck with you. And this is how you repay me?
Nipples off.
Yeah.
Are you saying if I didn't draw attention to the chicken legs?
I don't have chicken legs. I was in high school. God, let me move on.
He's got the best legs out of all of us, other than maybe me with my gigantic calves, but I got gross varicose veins, so I lose.
That negates that, so
I know.
Let's go back to me.
Also with me tonight,
disgusting legs.
You know him. You know him as Varicose Vinny, the sweatpants overlord, motherfucking Afro Pick, the artist formerly known as Greg. Howie, Greg, tell me how are
good.
things?
I've been cleaning my apartment for like this whole week. It's been like a process because
Is that because I'm coming
potentially
over?
I have a date coming over Friday potentially, but the real reason I'm cleaning it is because Seamus and his brother are sleeping over Saturday. I don't want to be judged. I know he's going to judge me already because my house is really. But I gotta say, it was really a mess.
I would judge you internally. But I'm also just coming home shit-faced and getting on my air mattress. And
yeah.
I'm going to bring my own blanketry. And I just appreciate the place to crash after the Ween show.
Yeah, we can shut the door. So my dog
some romantic stuff.
Well, I mean, I was saying to that's you and your brother in there. I'm just saying to your dog, my dog doesn't pop your mattress, even though she's got experience of sleeping on an air mattress before.
No, I thought you were going to give my brother your bed and we were going to, shut the door.
Oh, no. Well, maybe. Depends. Depends how this podcast goes.
He can take the dog, too.
I like to say I also have a little game at the end of tonight's episode inspired for next episode, which we're doing on movie sequels. Ha!
I can't wait to play.
Well, actually, hold on.
What?
See, we can't do movie sequels next unless it's horror movie sequels, because then we'll be into October.
It doesn't matter.
Greg.
You know, guess what?
Understand?
1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7 or 8 are horror. So it's horror themed. Boom.
Speaking of horror themes, Seamus, what is tonight's show about?
It's that time of year once more. We're getting spoopy again. Any listeners ever had anything happen to you that you can't explain? Maybe felt the presence of a lost loved one? Or gotten a chill and felt some malevolence? We're talking about things that science can't discern. You know, like stories about creepy dead kids and shit. So get ready to join the Crusty Boys as we chat about all things paranormal.
Damn, that was spoopy.
Spoop eye, actually. Can I go first?
Have at it.
Well, yeah, of course, man.
I don't know. All right, Jacqueline from Oklahoma says that while her memories have faded some over the years, she remembers having an imaginary friend of her own when she was young. Her grandparents, Granny Junie and Pa Hank, lived in a small home with a quiet backyard. Jacqueline recalls visiting them as a child and making daisy chains out of a dandelions while sitting beneath a big tree. She has good memories of Pa Hank, she said. He would sit under the tree with me and tell me stories. The stories were often about his life and memories of prohibition. He was actually a very interesting character, she said. I have some cool stories.
Pa Hank used to smuggle moonshine.
Oh, Pa Hank was smuggling moonshine. And some. Probably tobacco, too. Maybe some weed, too. It's Pa Tom Hanks, maybe.
He loves typewriters.
So she said...
And her imaginary friend Wilson.
So she said, I had some cool stories, and I'm grateful that I got to have them. The only problem? ? Her grandfather died in 1981. And Jacqueline was born in 1979. I mean, 1982.
Wait, what?
I was trying to make a joke there, but the only problem was her grandfather died in 1981, and Jacqueline was born in 1982.
Were we all born in 19... Or you guys are 80. I'm 81, right?
Yeah, I'm 80.
Yeah, you're a millennial. We're Generation X.
I know, but I'm like... You know, I'm right there on the
You're on
So
the
you were born in the same year that her grandfather died, but guess what? She was born in the very next year, 1982, meaning, how could she be talking to this guy?
Is that why I always feel like I was named Hank?
Maybe.
Pa Hank?
She said, I don't think I ever realized that there was getting stories from a ghost. Adding the rest of the family were aware of his presence in my house. My Granny Junie would never stay in the house on the anniversary of his death, she said. And yes, he did die in the house.
Jacqueline, the whole family is concerned because she's talking to the dead grandfather. None of them see.
Yeah, right? Did she not fucking tell these people, like, hey, yo, like, Grandpa just told me this? Like, yeah, your grandfather's dead. They're like, oh, did he? Did he now? You silly.
Grandpa says I don't have to eat the meatloaf. Pa Hank! Pa Hank!
Jacqueline...
If Grandpa's so dead, where did I get this smoking habit?
Jacqueline also recalls hearing Pa Hank get up in the middle of the night when she was staying at the house. It never occurred to me, she said. In hindsight, Jacqueline says that even though her childhood imaginary friend was actually her dead grandfather, it cast a different light because it was a relative and not a stranger. I never felt like Ghost. It felt like talking to Pa Hank.
What an ominous ending.
Yes. It's pretty stupid.
There's nothing wrong with having Pa Hank around.
Fuck Pa Hank!
Hey, I'm reading here. I wish I could just read my news on the go, you know, like a normal person. What if I told you you could? Newsly's an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural, human voice. For the first time ever, the web becomes available all in one place. You can follow any topic, as specific as you like, from sports, tech, business, science, Bitcoin, or even the Kardashians. It will find you the latest articles and read them aloud to you. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from 80 countries. You can hear us there, and the Sinister Story is there too. I even started using it as my default podcast app. They even have digital radio. So download and use Newsly for free now from www.newsly.me or from the link in the description, and use the promo code CRUST for a 1-month free premium subscription. So start playing, stop scrolling, and start listening.
All right, Seamus, go ahead.
This one is The Little Hands. I've never lived in a haunted house, but my mother did as a teen, writes Reddit user Patented Space Hook, recounting a true event. Other houses on her street had strange things going on, too. A few homes away from her lived a family. One night, the daughter went to bed with a bad headache. The next day, she was dead. She passed away from an aneurysm. After her funeral, the family went away to get their minds off the tragedy, and the father asked my uncle, my mom's brother, to check on their pets. My mom and dad, who were dating at the time, went with him. My mom had heard there was a grand piano and she wanted to play it. My dad was studying to be a veterinarian. After entering the house, my uncle and my father headed to the basement to see the animals, and my mother went to the piano on the ground floor. She was playing it when she felt something brush her ankles. She thought a cat must have left the basement and walked past her. She kept playing, then she felt it again. She looked under the piano and saw nothing. When she started again, she felt hands clasp her legs tightly. She dashed to the basement door, called my uncle and father, and waited for them. Back outside, my uncle could tell my mom was rattled and asked what was wrong. She told him what had happened, and he turned white. He told her the daughter who had died used to play a game with her father. When he played the piano, she'd crawl underneath, grab his ankles, and push his feet up and down on the pedals.
I bet it'd grab her ankles.
She was a little upset. She's like, why don't you just play the game? I'm trying to giggle here.
When you think of haunted dolls, it's likely the creepy old Victorian porcelain-looking kind that springs to mind. None of which you probably have. Let me tell you about a different kind of doll, though. Disney's Frozen Elsa doll that was gifted for Christmas in 2013 in the Houston area made headlines earlier this year when it seemingly became haunted. Yeah. The doll recited phrases from the movie Frozen and sang, "Let it go, let it go, can't hold back anymore."
I was going to interject there, but then I was like, I've never seen Frozen, so I don't know anything that goes on there.
So she sang that when a button on his necklace was pushed. For 2 years it did that in English. Pearl? Mother, Emily Madoniona, said in 2015 it started doing it alternating between Spanish and English. There wasn't a button that changed these. It was just random.
Yeah, that's strange.
The family has owned the doll for more than 6 years. Can you sing it in the Spanish version? Nah, not without being offensive, I'm sure.
Sure. We're trying not to get canceled.
The family's owned the doll for more than 6 years and has never changed its batteries. The mother says the doll would randomly begin to speak and sing, even with its switch turned off. The family decided to throw the creepy doll out in December of 2019. Weeks later, they found it inside of a bench in their living room. The kids insisted they didn't put it there, and I believe them, because they wouldn't have dug through the garbage.
Fuck, they wouldn't. Kids are pieces of shits.
Fuck the nail. Most parents
at that point,
think their kids wouldn't do a lot of things. Lies or misconceptions.
I can't see my kids ever rifling through the trash outside.
Case solved. We just nailed it.
It's
the
not
kids
over.
Did it in the basement with the hammer.
At that point, Elsa ceased to sing an English rendition of Let It Go altogether, speaking only in Spanish when pressed. The family then double bagged the bizarre doll and placed it at the bottom of the garbage, which is taken out on garbage day. They went on a trip shortly after, but when they returned, Elsa had come back too, and she was waiting in the backyard of their home. This time, the family mailed Elsa to a family friend in Minnesota, who taped the haunted doll to the front bumper of his truck. It doesn't seem to have made its way back to Houston yet, as per Madonia's February Facebook update on the creepy doll.
Man, I think that doll's probably living the best life right now, traveling around.
That's all she ever wanted.
Here's your problem. The switch on the doll was switched to evil. Turn it off.
Probably covered in bugs. Maybe that's what
Simpsons there with Krusty. Here's your problem here. It was switched to evil.
Oh, right.
I did the quote wrong. I should have looked it up before I fucking blew it.
It's fine. Speaking of blowing it, Greg, it's your turn.
Gong.
Oh.
In 1998, which was a great year, Joe relocated from California to Georgia to work as a manager at an auto body shop with his cousin. Soon after, Joe's brother followed him to the Peach State and rented a small house built in the late 1800s. It looked nice from outside. It did not feel good from the inside, though, Joe said. Things were off for the moment he helped his brother move into the house. I walked in the house and went, oh, man. The hair stood up on the back of my neck, and I just felt at ease. Like, this place isn't cool at all. Moments later, while carrying items into the bedroom, Joe says he heard whispering, a hated whispering, almost an argument between two people that seemed to be hovering in the top of the ceiling area.
Seabass and Harry?
Seabass and Harry? Joe ran out of the room and asked his brother if he felt something about the house, too, and his brother said, yeah, I'm picking up a vibe. But after praying on it, his brother said he felt things would be all right. As long as you're good, Joe said. I'm not good, but I'm going to help you. I don't get this part. He's like, I'm not good. I'm going to help you, but I'm going home, and I probably won't ever come back here. How the fuck are you going to help me then? You're fucking leaving me. But in the weeks that follow, there's some crazy incidents, like Joel's 8-year-old nephew was taking a bath, and he just, like, all of a sudden looked up, and there was a fucking old man standing in the tub with him.
Weird.
Right? He said it took 2 days for him to calm down, and he never took a bath after that.
Oh, I wouldn't either. Maybe that's why I don't take baths to this day.
Was there an old man in your bathtub? Are you trying to tell us something?
Hey, hey, little, we're just trying to take a bath here.
Old Herbert.
I'll only wash in sprinklers
It's like
myself.
the fucking The Shining shit, which was like the creepiest part of that movie too. The old lady in the bathtub.
Yeah, she was fucking scary as fuck.
Yeah, she's hideous.
If it was, you remember that girl from the 13 Ghosts, the hot one?
Oh
If
yeah,
it was her in the bathtub in The Shining, that little kid might have like had a different.
I don't know if she was
Oh,
hot from the 13 Ghosts. What are you talking about?
Do you even know which one I'm talking about then?
And none of the ghosts were hot.
There was one. It was a hot one that
The mom?
walking around naked with big titties.
Yeah, she was all fucking sliced up and gross.
She had like a cut neck. I mean, you can put a fucking ascot on that.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to show you a picture of that chick. She's like from Hellraiser. She was
A
like
bag.
She was like the Hellraiser inspired chick.
Seamus is a fucking gentleman till the end, though. He can look past that superficial.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you, Jameis. The kicker.
I love it. I love it when you tell me I'm beautiful.
I won't listen to them, Jameis. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Until they leave hair all over my bathroom.
She'll just leave throat juice on your bathroom. Anyway, the kicker, however, was when Joe's brother asked to borrow his truck one afternoon after receiving word that his 4-year-old daughter had been found wandering along a busy road by herself with her hand up in the air. She said she was taking a stroll with the old lady, and Joel's brother asked, what old lady? It's the old lady that lives at our house. But they were saying that the front door was too heavy for a 4-year-old to open, so everyone was perplexed on how she's able to leave the house.
Please. What the fuck was it? A portcullis?
It was like a safe door.
Maybe it was like a heavy oak door.
4-year-olds ain't tough.
Good hinges. That means any 4-year-old can open a door.
This is 1998 before they. But this is 1998 before they invented Red Bull. She didn't have wings. She didn't have anything. They burned the house down
With the kid in it?
with the kid in it.
Oh my god. That seems unnecessary.
Survival with the lone survivor, a cat.
Meow.
All right.
All right, James, go ahead.
This one's from Mad Rampager. I used to be in the military, and the training camp bunk that we lived in was said to be haunted. Occasionally, our stuff would go missing and reappear in weird places, like under our bed or inside a bag that we had zipped up and stuff. No big deal, right? I mean, human errors and all. Then came the instance that freaked everyone out. It was one night after lights out, and my friend was on his phone texting his girlfriend. Most of us were drifting off to sleep and were lying on our beds, etc. Suddenly, he heard the shuffling of feet from the corridor. So thinking that it was our sergeant, he quickly hid his phone under his pillow, rolled over on his side, and pretended to sleep. To this day, what happens next chills me to the bone. While he pretended to sleep, he heard someone right behind him at the other side of his bed going, Don't worry. You can continue to pretend sleep. I would dismiss this as a figment of his imagination, except that about 5 other people around him heard it as well, including me. Creepier still, there was no one there, and it was the voice of a little girl that said it.
Jeez.
For reference, our training camp was in the middle of an island and was set up away from the main admin blocks. The island has been closed by the government for Army training purposes for the last 15 years, so there were definitely no civilians around, let alone kids.
Yeah, they probably got like speakers built in. They're fucking with these people just to fuck with their psyche.
I've thought of this, and it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
To make matters freakier, when we came back from our, yeah, right. You never know what goes on these days. It doesn't even have to be the sergeant. It could be one of his, squad mates.
Yeah, some higher ups like in the back, like laughing like these fucking idiots, dude. They're probably pissing their pants.
To make matters freakier, when we came back from our weekend home leave, there was a bunch of female hair on his bed, neatly bundled up, long and jet black. Under his pillow was a note. Remember me? Now, as I said, we were in the middle of a forest in the middle of an island, and at that point in time, there were no female recruits, personnel on the island. Our bunks were locked up for the weekend, and the duty sergeant had no idea that the incident happened. We never spoke about it after that night. Still chills me to the bone thinking about it. But yes, I mean,
yeah, the sergeant when the sergeant put that note down, he like looked at it as the sergeant goes, "You got to commit."
Right. I mean, that's definitely possible. There's a lot of probably hazing going on military bases and stuff like that. Pranks.
But if it's not, it's creepy.
It's very creepy.
It made the hairs in my body parts stand up.
Same.
All of them. All the hairs. I know I'm follically challenged, but...
That's amazing.
I mean, good for you. Represent.
I worked at a public pool. At night, I'd work alone after hours, cleaning the building and the pool. One night around 2 a.m., I was cleaning the changing rooms. The pool has been closed for 4 hours or more at this time. So suddenly I hear the sound of children's laughter and bare feet running across the pool deck. I go out and scan the area. There's nobody in sight. The doors are all closed and locked. There's nowhere a kid could be hiding. There are no wet footprints on the pool deck. I recheck the doors and security monitors. I'm the only person in the building. Woo!
Hey, pool boy!
That it?
You want more?
No, I mean, that's it. There's...
I was waiting for more, too.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I jumped off the diving board and did a swan
He
dive.
was found headless the next day with a kid's shoe nearby.
No, actually, he found a couple kids in the pool face down, and it was a couple kids drowning. It's just too bad.
That's
Thanks.
pretty dark.
I was going for that.
He was napping in the maintenance closet.
Here, you can eat that Crust podcast. We like to joke a lot. I was joking with that one.
Also, we did warn you there would be creepy dead kids involved.
Yeah.
Disclaimer alert.
Spoiler alert. Kids are going to die.
Okay.
This one from... Oh, sorry, it's Greg's turn.
I don't have any more.
Yeah.
I had 2 long ones.
Armantes. Middle of the night, sleeping, I hear a sound like someone is taking a paperclip from my desk and throwing it against the wall, and it bounces across the desk. I wake up to this noise, turn on the light right by my bed as I sit up. I look over and see nothing. Weird. As I'm ready to lay back down, my 20-pound steel gumball machine falls from the shelf over my head directly onto my pillow where my head was not 30 seconds earlier. I flip out and scramble out of my bed as I'm totally taken by surprise. As I stand up, I feel something under my feet. It's a paper clip. I put the murderous gumball machine on the floor, the paperclip back on my desk, and crawl into the safety of my comforter. Nothing like that ever happened again. But do you think the poltergeist or ghost or spirit was fucking? Do you think they knocked the gumball off too? Just be like,
Totally.
Yeah. Or do you think the ghost was like, that gumball machine's about to fall?
Oh, I'm throwing the paperclip to save you, to get you to move, so I can...
Let me look like a benevolent ghost. I'm saving you, but I'm really a prankster like Loki, so let me dump the gumball machine afterwards.
He's like, either.
I've never been afraid of any gumball machines in my entire life.
I mean, have you guys?
So this
do you
story
guys
did
have any of
nothing
your
for
own
me.
paranormal stories?
I mean, I think I told it one time when I was drinking a fucking one of those little those sips. Fucking, they look like the little barrels.
Oh, those gross
The
like
ghetto
ghetto
juice
juices
in
from when you were a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, we were drinking one around the table. My brother, maybe just me and my sister, I don't remember. It was in Vermont. And all of a sudden the thing like just fucking like swept across the table and flew onto the floor. And the other one I have is right after my grandfather passed away. My grandparents wanted Drake to get baptized. He's the only one out of the 5 that's baptized.
See, I'm the only one out of the 6 that wasn't. Like, what the fuck? What did I do? I had 2 younger than me. Like, what the heck happened? Actually, I'm sorry. 2 younger than me are my step siblings. They were not baptized yet. They were different father. What did I do, Dad?
So I think it
worked out.
I think you're doing great. I'll baptize you next time I see you, Seamus.
I think every time they tried, I was like, the water was boiling. I was like, no.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this about me, guys, but in real life, I am a legal ordained minister.
So you can marry me and Greg?
I can marry you and Greg. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, after my grandfather died, we're at the church. We're getting Drake baptized. We took some pictures. After we got them developed and printed out, there's
a guy in the background with the devil horns going, "Yeah, you did it!"
On all the pictures of Drake being like doused in the water, there's fucking like orbs all around him, and it was in like 3 different photos. But then none of the photos right before they dipped him in the water.
Trippy.
Of your son?
Yeah. So we had photos of like the priest holding him, and there were pictures of that. And then as soon as he put him in the water, they took more pictures. And 2 of the pictures, there's like translucent orbs all around Drake in the picture. And then the other pictures, there's none.
So those are like the ones you see, you hear about in a lot of photos.
Yeah.
That probably is just something with the lights and the lumens and the lens.
I mean, that of course, yeah, that could very well be. But still, it was something. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. I had a moment at like the Eldridge's house, actually multiple times, and they had like I think just a grandparent died, not their grandparent, but a grandfather died in that house. Somebody's grandfather, but like I heard like somebody walking upstairs and closing a door, and I was like talking to like I thought it was Jay upstairs. I was like, "Hey Jay," and like I'm like having a conversation. This person's like walking from room to room and shut the door, and then like Josh said, "Dude, nobody's even here." And like we went upstairs and like checked after, and I was like, "Dude, like I'm never going to your house again." And then like I was there the next weekend, like drinking over there, but.
You had to get your liquid courage on.
Yeah, dude, I was that, that house has spirits in there. Oof, goddamn, that was scary as fuck. Because it was like, it gave me the chills. Because like I said, I heard like, I know what I heard, man. I'm not crazy.
I've never really had anything. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't believe in ghosts.
It's because you weren't baptized.
Right? I've never been open to that world, I guess.
I don't think I was baptized either. I fucking
Go watch Paranormal Caught on Tape seasons 1 through 8 on HBO Max.
Like I said, there's too many stories and too many things on camera to discount it all. But it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I can't explain everything. There's so much shit on in the world that.
Can you get unbaptized? If I was baptized, I want to be unbaptized.
I watched one of our cats being pulled backwards about 5 feet by her tail. She was walking through the dining area and suddenly was sliding backward as if someone was pulling her by the tail, only there wasn't anyone. She freaked out and tried to run, but couldn't immediately as something held on for a brief second before letting her go. I tend to think this was the handiwork of the 4 or 5-year-old girl ghost who hangs out, and she just wanted to play with the kitties.
That's what kids do. This is why, like, dogs and cats hate little kids. Not hate, but they're wary of them.
Yeah. Long story short, don't have ghost kids. Keep your
Yeah,
kids
I mean,
alive.
keep your kids alive. Be real good, outstanding parents.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap that
Don't
shit
your
up.
creepy ghost kid haunting me, please.
Ah.
And that goes to all of you.
I just have a couple quick ones. Last weekend, I went to a haunted house, just me and my dad. I typically grab onto someone's arm for moral support during these things, so I was glad he was there. But I never knew how much of a chicken my dad was until that night. He literally pushed me in front of everything, including a chainsaw. I left him in the dust after that. Sadie Rain. This one. I went to Six Flags and got scared in one of the mazes that I wouldn't stop screaming. That is until a scare actor screamed, "Shut up! I can't take it anymore!" Right at me. Then proceeded to leave the maze after ripped off his mask. My screaming literally made a man quit his job. Jezzy 4850355015.
All right, that wraps up our talk on paranormal activities. I'm Greg Hoey.
Stay tuned, some other shit.
Perfect.
So I was random interwebbing, and I came across this website about all the reasons why outsiders like the United States. Has nothing to do with the paranormal, but I thought this was funny. I wanted to read these comments. This one, this probably happened a while ago because I don't see too much of this anymore, but hospitality and kindness on my travels in America. I found the majority of Americans to be kind, keen to help, and lovely to spend time with. Thank you. This one. Free refills at restaurants. Still amazed. Another one said, just NASA.
Well, yeah.
Another user. I have to say, Americans are very talkative, and they do like to socialize a lot. They love to get together a lot and meet up. There are lots of places to have fun and hang out, like arcades, bowling alleys, bars. It's just not something people really do where I live. You are allowed to publicly criticize your government and leader. This is probably someone from China, unfortunately. Yes, in the United States, we can and we do all the time. They make a lot of great music. I'm sort of a metalhead, and my country doesn't have any rock bands.
Oh.
You can turn on red lights. Yes, this is a nice part about the United States.
You can turn on the red lights in Amsterdam, too. Roxanne!
Unless you're in New York, you can't turn on
Hey.
The diversity is wonderful in its people, culture, food, architecture, and nature. Zip codes have only numbers, easier to remember than postal codes, and all the telephone numbers throughout the country have exactly the same number of digits. The best...
That is
yes,
nice.
I mean, I didn't know there was any other way, but... the best food I've seen in 35 different countries visited. The food diversity in the United States is phenomenal, and Americans have perfected many cuisines. In Europe, there's way too much attention to being authentic, and in the U.S., it really feels like the melting pot and the bastardization of cuisines have elevated food to a whole nother level. I mean, chef, weigh in. I mean, sounds plausible to me. I mean, we've brought everything to a melting pot. Why would ours, be so many very different dishes, right? I mean, with different styles and seasonings. And
Yeah, man. We're killing it over here. Way to go, us.
I mean, yeah. So,
Speaking of, hold on. I have a message from Chef Greg Sessler right now, chiming in on the podcast.
All right. What's up, Greg, with 2 G's?
I said, Greg, is there anything you want to say to the world? He said, if you feel like you're losing everything, remember trees. They lose their leaves every year, yet they still stand tall and wait for better days to come. Japanese proverb.
Oh,
the glass is always half full.
that's prolific.
Right? He just sent me the playlist that just happened at work right now.
I thought he was going to like tell me how to make a lasagna or something.
I'm going to go hang myself.
Greatest Pandora mix of all time. More Than Words into Beastie Boys into No Doubt I'm Just a Girl. I miss that shit. Damn.
It's a good mix.
Was he just giving us his playlist?
That's what's playing at work right now over the speakers for the
gotcha.
guests.
So, but yeah, back to that. I mean, when you look at an American Mexican restaurant, it's always like they're trying to do something different or make it over the edge, which isn't always a good thing. Sometimes just bring it back to straight up Mexican. There's a simple ingredients and simple to put together. But I think it can go either way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with experimenting or changing from a recipe.
Yeah. Well, you know, right here in America, you too can open your own food truck with just a lot of stress and $30,000.
Well, let's hope it all works out.
Absolutely.
Another reason why America's great, you can just open that food truck and do your thing. Whereas other countries, they'll steal your food truck and cut your head off.
They might do
So
that here too.
back to reasons why America's the great. 1. You have a large, well-educated population, a dynamic economy, a professional civil service, and arguably the most favorable geographic position amongst all countries today. You also have a culture of liberty, which, although facing challenges, is a potent inoculation against totalitarians. Optimism. Even with a ridiculous political situation, Americans are naturally optimistic. Try to be. But yes, our politics are a mess. My country never would have thought of replacing the bread in a KFC chicken sandwich with 2 pieces of chicken. Genius. Keep them coming.
Keep them dying.
Innovation. Americans think of really cool stuff and make it happen. From Disneyland to iPhones. It's true. We're one of a kind here. Thank you, sir. Big living spaces. I live in Hong Kong, and our average flat sizes are around 300 to 500 square feet. If you're in a flat that's over 1,000 square feet, that's considered super luxurious. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. I mean, some places in New York are probably about the same, but
I have 7 people living in 900 square feet. In your face, Hong Kong.
They do too, in a 400 square foot.
Wow.
They have grandparents, parents, and children all living in one place. Haven't you seen Parasite?
No.
You have not?
Yes.
Should I?
Absolutely.
Fucking.
I've heard good things.
I just skipped it.
It's such a good movie.
It only won fucking film of the year. Watch it. It's amazing.
Did you guys see Everything Everywhere All at Once yet?
No, I started it.
Okay.
I started it.
It only won film of the year. Shut up, Greg. Short Round won an Oscar. What'd you do? This a pick that, pick this and a pick this a pick that, pick this and a pick this a pick that, pick this and a pick this a pick that, pick this and a. And you don't give a fuck about Crust, so just chill to the next episode. All right, and Greg, I hear you have a little experiment you'd like to try.
I mean, it's not really an experiment. It's just leading up to our episode next couple of weeks, maybe. Who knows when it's coming out on movie sequels. We're just going to do a little either or. Quick little rapid fire. It's pretty easy. Some of these are horror related. Some of them are not. Some of them are sci-fi related. Some of them are not. So, either or. Rapid fire. We don't take too much time on this. Audience, you can email us. You know the email. We can't stop looking at them. Anyway, all right. First movie. Alien or Aliens? Ryan.
Aliens.
Seamus, I don't even need to ask you because I know you're going to say Aliens.
Aliens. I love Aliens.
Okay.
Man.
Aliens versus Predator or AVP2? And by the way, I am an Aliens guy as well, too, even though I think Alien is the better movie overall. Aliens is just more the action-packed and, like, better, you know, even though Aliens is a fucking awesome movie, too. They're both great.
It's a bigger budget.
Yep.
It's just better done.
I think
More characters involved.
Alien is a horror movie. Aliens is an action or sci-fi horror movie.
True.
Anyway.
I'm going to say Aliens versus Predator.
Nice,
2.
dude. Me too. Hell yeah. That's when they came to Earth.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the first one.
The first one, they go in this like little like they drill down into this like in like Antarctica or whatever. They drill down into this chasm and it's like million.
I do kind of remember AVP2 and like there was a lot more going on, more characters again.
Yeah, the pregnant aliens that fucking impregnated them chicks. All those fucking.
Yeah. Well, let's go AVP2.
Okay, same. All right, Blade Runner or Blade Runner 2049. Both very good movies, I think.
I'm going the original.
All right, look, I'm not a huge Blade Runner fan.
Yeah,
right?
that much.
Don't tell the dishwasher.
I think they're
work.
both very flawed. At least the original was original, and you know,
And it had
Every
Dennis
movie's
Hopper.
flawed. Don't talk too much shit about Blade Runner because I love Blade Runner and I do the dishes too.
Blade Runner, the original.
Okay, well, I'm just going to be difficult and go Blade Runner 2049, even though I think Blade Runner the original is the better movie, but I think they're both good. All right, next one. I haven't seen either of these. And let me just say real quick, for the first time in, I don't know, maybe 20 plus years, I didn't watch one snap of NFL football at all. Nothing. I didn't give a shit. I was like, I ain't got time for this. I'm driving to video games. It's too much. Anyway, okay. Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick?
Oh,
Never seen either of them.
I'm going Top Gun Maverick because it's the same movie, just done better with better budget and more special effects.
I've never seen Top Gun Maverick, so I got to give it to Top Gun for the volleyball scene alone. Helped shape me in my form.
And I've never seen either of them, so I'm going to go or.
You know, I can't remember if there was a volleyball scene in Maverick, but there was a comparative scene, I think.
It had to have been a Maverick fucking scene. Okay, this one. Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2?
Evil Dead 2, because again, it's the same movie, just made better.
It's obviously
Okay,
Evil Dead 2.
question again then. Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness?
Oh, Army of Darkness. Shit's classic. It's hilarious.
This is hard.
But they're different genres again. Evil Dead 2 was a horror. Army of Darkness was a comedy, action, thrill. I don't know. It was amazing.
I got to go Evil Dead 2. I saw that movie. It just changed my life when I was
Okay, then another one.
I'm going Army of Darkness. That shit was amazing.
All right, I am going Army of Darkness as well. And now let's go.
So many good quotes.
The newest.
Oh, you got real ugly.
I mean, Army of Darkness is a fucking classic. Quote all day. I'm going to say
Shop smart. Shop as smart.
The 2017 version of Evil Dead or the newer one?
Oh, the newer one for sure.
Yeah, same. The 2017 one was cool too. It was more of a gore fest though.
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise.
I didn't mind it. It was good.
I did like that one.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Gross.
It's definitely better than Evil Dead 1, like the original.
All right, this one's going to be... I know what Seamus is going to say for this one. T1 or T2?
Anybody would say.
T2.
Come on, dude. That changed. That made history.
Again, I think the same thing with Alien and Aliens. I think T1 is the better movie.
No, Greg, you're canceled.
T2 is better on all fronts.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was one of the best movies still to this day. I could watch T2 and be like, wow, that's awesome.
Hasta la vista,
And
Greg.
the soundtrack is way better.
I'm like, I can't do that. I can't breathe too much. All right, Godfather.
How's Wolfie? Wolfie's fine, dear.
Your foster parents are dead.
All right, Godfather 1 or Godfather 2?
I haven't seen these in a long time, but I think I remember 2.
Yeah.
The 2 is better, in my opinion. Mad Max with Mel Gibson or Mad Max with, what's his name? I just told Tom Hardy.
I love Tom Hardy, but I'm all about the original Mad Max.
The same. 2-man enter, 1-man leave.
That's
Come
the
on.
second one, which was better than first the original Mad Max.
Mad Max
Beyond
Fury is
Thunderdome.
Apocalypto, essentially.
Apocalyptos might be better than all those.
Apocalypto's the shit. All right, and the last one, and this is the old ones, not the new ones. Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead, the 1978 version.
All the remakes are better.
Well, Night of the Living Dead is the black and white one, and then Dawn of the Dead is the mall one.
Yeah, I hate black and white.
I like
That's
Night
what
of the Living
me too.
Dead
So
better.
I thought Dawn of the Dead was kind of boring.
That movie's bleak as fuck.
I'm getting confused. They've remade them all, and they all have the same titles.
Well, they never. Well, actually, they didn't remake Night of the Living Dead like a color version of it with Candyman in it. Tony Todd, yeah.
Tony Todd.
But like again, I'm not confusing with the Return of the Living Dead movies that are.
What was the one with
comedies?
The hot chick and my stepdad Steve?
That's That's a completely different series. That's the Return of the Living Dead series. That's the
That
one.
was good.
The comedy ones, yeah. I like the. Those are the ones with the like brains. The ones where they come out of the canisters and shit.
Yeah, they were on canisters.
Yeah. Those ones are. That one's awesome. I mean, the sequel to that one is the great where the kids get it and the little kid fucking bites his friend and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we would talk more about movie sequels maybe if I get my way. Hopefully,
Here on You Can Eat That Crust podcast, we love zombie movies.
we do love zombie movies.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up another episode of the You Can Eat That Crust podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you beautiful, beautiful people.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sending us topic ideas.
Thank you for that. Yes, check us out in all the podcast formats. I don't need to list them. You know, you have all the apps and all that shit. Email
First time listeners, Greg.
Oh, Spotify, Apple Podcast, fucking YouTube. We're on Anchor for our Patreon. So if you want to help out with the podcast and subscribe, and obviously subscribe, and if you want to give us like 5-star ratings, because you know we're 5-star people. I think. I mean, I would think so. So
You don't have to like our podcast, but we're good people.
yes, we're good people.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. And remember,
In Crust, we trust.
We trust.
In Crust, we crust.
In Crust, we crust.
All right.
This ends our podcast.
Pavement grounded his nipples off.
No, she fell and it ground one of her nipples off.
I've never been afraid of any gumball machines in my entire life.
Shut up! I can't take it anymore!